Good afternoon and welcome to my channel. I am Sunshiny Day and this is Tarot by Sunshiny Day. So it's a nice rainy afternoon where I live in Florida in the USA, and I thought I would pop on here for a minute. I don't know if any of you watched the debate last night. I don't normally watch. I try to stay away from news. As a matter of fact, I don't even have regular cable. I just have, the networks like Netflix and Amazon TV or Amazon Video or whatever it is. And so I don't watch the news on regular TV, and I hardly watch the news at all. Sometimes I'll get some information from the social media platforms, but other than that, and I don't even know if that's true. Half the time you can't believe anything you hear or see or read on social media. So I try not to absorb too much of it. I mainly use the social media platforms for entertainment and then also for my own channel. I do gain knowledge on social media about health related things, and so that's one thing. But anyways, since I don't normally watch the news, I didn't even know there was going to be a debate yesterday or last night. And then two friends of mine, they don't know each other. They both asked me if I was going to be watching the debate, and I thought, well, maybe I should watch it. So my question for the tarot today is I'm going to ask tarot and the universe and spirit guides if Joe Biden will drop out of the 2024 presidential race. And the reason I'm asking this is because I could see the struggle that Joe Biden was having. And when he loses his train of thought, he starts to mumble. And that's not a very good look for a presidential candidate. But also, I notice that Trump, when he loses his train of thought, he'll start rambling. So Joe Biden loses his train of thought and starts mumbling. And then Donald Trump loses his train of thought and starts rambling. Neither one of which is good. However, the rambling sounds better than the mumbling. So the mumbling casts a shadow of doubt on whether or not he's capable of being president. Whereas the rambling, you have to actually go back and re-listen to what the rambling was to understand that it was an incoherent thought, but when Donald Trump was talking, it didn't sound like it. It's kind of bizarre. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about if you watch the candidates like I do and you're as observant as I am. And I don't have much of a care about the race. I didn't even vote in the last election. But I was just interested because two of my friends asked me if I was going to watch it, and I thought to myself, well, maybe I should watch it. So let's see. I'm going to ask tarot if Joe Biden will continue on in the 2024 presidential race. I'm going to ask the cards, spirit guides, universe. I'm asking now to help me see if Joe Biden, the United States of American president at the moment, if he will drop out of the race for president. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's flip them over. The Queen of Pentacles, the Ace of Cups, the Hierophant, and the Four of Pentacles. Let me do this more over here. Okay. Well, this is pretty interesting. So to me, right away, it looks like either he's thinking about dropping out, or someone, maybe somebody in his team, might be thinking that it's time to look for another candidate or ask President Biden to step down. Now, whoever this is, they're thinking about the outcome. They're thinking about how the Democrats need to win. And they're not convinced that they can win with Joe Biden. They're thinking about what this might mean for their America, for the America that they see. The Republicans see one America, the Democrats see another America. The independents see kind of a moderate America, and the libertarians see a very, I don't know, I don't know what the libertarians would think. Okay, so that's that card. Then the Ace of Cups in reverse. To me, this is saying that there's an issue with the offer. What's to come might not be, or what was to come might not be. And then the Hierophant right next to this one, because this one often has like a religious connotation to it, or an organized organization meaning to it. So I don't know if Joe Biden will consult someone of a spiritual authority to see what that person might say, because when you look at this, a dove is putting a wafer, like the Eucharist, into a chalice, and when it's upright, that's, this is a very, very positive card. But when it's in reverse, you see how the bird and the Eucharist is headed that direction, but it's upside down, so it won't really accomplish its mission. I mean, they can try, but it's like going against the grain. It's just not going to happen. Like as much water as you put in there, the chalice is upside down, so it's just not going to be full. And so the mission might not be accomplished. And so if they feel like the mission might not be accomplished, they'll seek the advice of someone of some sort of religious authority, of religious knowledge. I think Joe Biden's Catholic, so he might even consult his priest and find out. Okay, so the Four of Pentacles, to me, in reverse, it either means that you're squandering or you're not free enough. You're not being as open as you should. You're being too closed off about it. So I do have that feeling about Joe Biden, because when you see him talking, and when you see that he's no longer as articulate as he once was when he was a younger politician. And I mean, when he was younger, very, very coherent and very on top of things. And, you know, he's still very witty to me. That is one thing about the debate. They almost roasted each other back and forth, which I thought was kind of comical, the way they were roasting, what I would refer to as roasting each other. But anyways, I don't think there's something that's not out in the open that either his team isn't sharing or that he's not sharing. There's something that's being held back. So it's either one person or his team who is looking and saying they're not sure that Joe Biden can live up to what the Democrats are looking for. The mission isn't being accomplished because it's almost impossible to do, even though the thought is there. You know, it's like the thought that counts, or, well, in this case, it's not the thought that counts, because if you can't be president, you can't be president. I mean, they have good intentions or they had good intentions on letting him be the candidate, but now they're not so sure. And so they might seek advice, or Joe Biden on his own might seek advice behind closed doors, or maybe with one other person, to see what a spiritual advisor might say, or a priest. And then there's something that's not being revealed. So what this reading is telling me is that he probably should step down, but we're not sure yet if he's going to do that. They're thinking about it. I mean, I don't think if he wins the presidential election that he'll be in for another 4 years. I think something's going to happen, and then Kamala Harris will have to take over. And honestly, for the first woman president, she's not what I would have wanted. But, you know, for the first woman president of the United States, Kamala Harris isn't the first name who would come to mind for me. But like I said, I'm not really all that into politics. So this is really interesting. So the answer here is that it still remains unseen, but it does seem like they're looking into asking him to step down, and he's looking into, on his own merit, stepping down. Now, he might already want to step down, and they're not, you know, they're insisting, no, you can't do this. You got to do it for America. We need you. Joe, what are you thinking? You can't drop out or whatever. I mean, the guy's not stupid. He knows what his issues are. Of course, things will be held back in that regard, but I think this is being held back in a different regard. Because it's either that he's talking too much or he's not talking enough. And I think it's that he's not talking enough. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take an angel card from one of my angel decks. And I'm going to ask to finalize this question and see what we come up with. Because this reading is kind of wishy-washy, if you will. The answer that I was asking isn't really there, and it's because the universe doesn't know yet, because things are still being worked out. But it looks like they're leaning towards asking him to step down, or he's going to step down on his own. Okay, so which card should I select to ask if Joe Biden will step down as the next president, or as a candidate for the next president of the United States? Will he seek re-election, or will he step down? So this is the final card for this reading. It's been kind of wishy-washy. The universe is letting us know they're working towards that way. This one kind of fell out, so we'll leave it here. They're working towards that way, but it hasn't been finalized. And the number that I'm coming up with that the universe is telling me right now is 24. So 1, 2, 3. Wow. Look what the card I got. Reconsider. So the universe wants him to reconsider his candidacy. So let me see in the guidebook what the expanded meaning of this is. Reconsider. 64. There is an element of your plan that should be re-evaluated. Take some time to really go through your project and proposal thoroughly. Share your intentions with a trusted friend or advisor. That's what it says. Who can give you objective feedback. Ask for angels for guidance. This is not the moment to make the change in your life that you're considering. A better time will come, or you'll realize that you wish to choose a different kind of transformation for yourself. Wow. So I think Joe Biden's hearing the angels. I think he's hearing his angels, his God, whoever it is, asking him to reconsider his candidacy. Because he knows he's supposed to seek advice. And he's doing that. Wow, so this one fell out. Let's see what this one is. Wow, not the right time. You know, I think the universe is telling Joe Biden to step down. And it's, you know, in the ego, it's being wishy-washied out. But in the spirit, they're asking him to step down. Okay, so reconsider. Not at this time. Let me see what this, not at this time. This is the one that fell out. Not at this time. Let's see what the expanded. Not at this time, presently, for what you're inquiring about. The answer is no, not just yet. Have patience. Your angels will give you a sign when the timing is perfect. So maybe it's being held back because it's not the right time to say that he's dropping out. That's really interesting. I'll tell you what, the cards, man, they're always so profound. So someone or his team is looking into asking him to step down. They're seeing what their options are. They're just using him. This is the sad part. They're seeing what their options are. You know, they want to see if there's someone else who could potentially beat Donald Trump. But it's not something that's it's almost impossible. It's just not going to work the way they want it to. They're going against the grain, so to speak. And Joe on his own or with a couple teams or a team of people might ask for guidance from a religious figure, and things aren't being revealed. And then this is the reconsider, and he's supposed to ask his angels and ask. What did it say? Reconsider. Ask. Who did it say to ask? Seek guidance. I think it said. 64. Oh, wow. What did it say again? I forgot. Share your intentions with a trusted friend or advisor who can give you objective feedback. Ask your angels for guidance. And then this says, not at this time. I think it said something about asking the angels. Not at this time. 58. This is very interesting reading, man. Not at this time. Have patience. Your angels will give you a sign when the timing is perfect. So the timing right now. Oh. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Can you imagine the pressure that old man is taking on? Now, please, if you are going to post any comments on my video, let's be nice. Because both of these men, they both serve their country. They're both elderly. They both have tremendous pressure. Pressure that I couldn't even imagine. You know, when you're down here in the trenches, we all have different pressures in life, but this kind of pressure is like a earth-shattering pressure. But, well, I'm going to just leave it there. I'm just going to leave it there, and I'm going to ask you, if you like my videos, to please subscribe and like and share, and let me know what you think of the reading, but be nice. And thank you for showing up all the time. Thank you for showing up, and peace out.